Welcome back and welcome if you're new here. I'm Prophetess Wendy and I'm here with another prophetic dream. This dream is about Rick Ross. I haven't entirely titled it, but I'm sure by the end of the video I will have a title for it. This one I had September 1st, 2025. And I wrote then we were at this mansion. It was for Rick Ross and he was giving us a tour. I know there were families with children, people I didn't really know. I was there with my daughter and other mothers and fathers with their children. Rick Ross took us on a tour upon our arrival. It was dark as we went from area to area. The lights, every time we approached an area, it was dark, but when we approached the area, the light automatically came on. So he showed us the kitchen. Then we got to the stretch where all the rooms were. He showed the grown-ups their rooms. Then all the children rooms were down the hallway. I didn't take a parent room. I followed my daughter to the room she was going, and I planned on staying there with her. There were many twin beds in the room, about 5 or 6. So it was like a small hostel in the room where I guess 5 or 6 child could stay in the one room, because there were twin beds, about 5 or 6 of them, and 2 light wood tables for eating. I was going out to get something. I instructed my daughter to eat on the table. I showed her which, and I left the room. I ended up with other parents in a room Rick Ross brought us. So he brought us to a room, showing us something. It had many personal wireless routers in black and green. He was saying we can purchase for each phone because our signal otherwise was not going to be good. So basically, in his house, in order for us to have internet, we had to purchase a wireless router to be able to access Wi-Fi, but only one router per device. So if we wanted to have access to internet, we would have to purchase a router in order to do that. But one router doesn't serve the whole family. It is one router per device. Because our signal otherwise was not going to be good, he said. One man, a father, tried it. He got the 5G and Rick Ross set it up for him. And he now had 2 green lights instead of 1. Then he said he also wanted one for each of his children. I thought I didn't want any because how could this man not have good internet? How could this man not have good internet who goes to someone's house? And I was asking, like, who goes to someone's house and buy internet? And why is it that we all needed a box? Why our children can't just get hotspot from ours? So I was not in agreement with the setup, basically, because when you go to someone's house, if they have internet, usually they'll just give you their Wi-Fi password or help you access their internet. But Rick Ross was making money off holding people hostage if your phone is not working in wherever he lives, because it is said that way. So in order for you to have a working phone, you have to purchase a wireless router so you can have access to outside information, basically. And it's not that one for the family. You're coming with your family, but each family member has to have their own if they need access to Wi-Fi. I thought it was crooked. So I was very objective to it. I was then walking with a plate in my hand, and a lady stopped to ask me if they already prepared food. I told her no, this was my food. I brought it. I was telling her about the container I use, how good it was, and how well it keeps food. I was heading back to my daughter when I heard choppers like helicopters outside. So much I knew we were surrounded. So basically I can hear many different helicopters. So it's like they were surrounding the house. It was a lot of thing happening outside with more than one chopper out there. So I knew we were surrounded, and they were talking to us to put our hands up and stand against the wall. I was wondering what was happening. So basically, I'm going to say it in the movies because I don't know otherwise. But you know how when they surround a person's house that they are coming to get, like the FBI, the police department, whatever. They're in the house, they surround the house, and then they're on that microphone or whatever they're using to speak loudly. So the people in the house know that they're about to come in, they're about to do this, whatever. So basically I could hear the microphone, whoever was on it was saying, we should all put up our hands. We're surrounded, and so forth and so on. I did put my hands up, but I kept walking to go to my daughter because I wasn't going to leave her there. As I kept going, I saw many soldiers enter the building and apprehending the people. Yet I kept moving towards my daughter. I got to her door and realized a whole team of women had the children barricaded. They had them barricaded in the room that the children were staying in. And it was my understanding that they had them all dressed up in costume. Someone was asking, how will I know which is my daughter? I told them, I know my daughter. It doesn't matter what she's dressed in. I will find her. And then the girls all started to come out, and I saw my daughter dressed in a black outfit, but I could see her face. She also saw me and motioned to me, and I was making my way to get her, and she came to my feet. So basically, the children, they had some women who I guess he hired to dress these children up in costumes. So basically, even their face was not visible. Maybe they were wearing some kind of covering over their face, maybe a mask, those things that they do, like an eye covering, whatever it was. I cannot detail what I saw exactly, but the point of the matter is that the lady was asking me, how will I know which one is my daughter? That means it was not easily visible to say I could see her face and I could say that's my daughter. But nonetheless, I know my daughter's features head to toe. So even with the covering, I would be able to identify her. So these children were dressed up for whatever reason. Motioned to me, and I was making my way to get her, and she came to my feet. I got her, and we started heading out the building. We got out, and I'm walking against the wall because there are so many activities with army personnel outside with guns, helicopters. There were so many helicopters and army trucks and vans driving all over the grounds of that property. I didn't want to risk getting shot down, so I sat down by the wall holding my daughter, singing a song. I'm not sure what song, but then I woke up. It was my understanding when I woke up that this man, Rick Ross, lures families in as if to entertain them, then separate the children, dress them up, and use them to entertain adults. Now, what I don't know, if some of the parents who are bringing their children are keen to what is happening, or they're unaware that that is happening. But the main fact is that he separates the adults from the children. And then while he has the adults' attention, Then he have women who were hired to dress up the children, and God knows what they do to those children when the adults are busy being entertained by Rick Ross or whoever else is entertaining them while their children are God knows where. But as you see, I wasn't interested in even having an adult room. I wanted to be where my daughter was. The other parents, they was happy to have their own room, and they didn't go even to go see where their children were going. They didn't go. Then another thing is you didn't have easy access to the internet, though your devices were not able to operate from the location. So you get to the location, your device is not workable, you're not getting service, then you're not getting access to his Wi-Fi, his internet. You have to buy a wireless router, right? And then if you are buying one router, if you're a family of 5, you have to buy 5 routers. If you have 5 devices, it will not suffice. One router will not suffice for the whole family. So that is another thing that he had in place. So if you're choosing not to get more than one router for yourself, then your children, even if they had a device, they wouldn't be able to contact you. You wouldn't know where they are. You're not having access to them. Then it's made to seem like you are at supposedly like a resort, where you're getting alone time, parental time, right? While your children are cared for. But you don't know that your children are not really being cared for, because if you notice what I said, while we left the children in the children's room to go and attend to the device, the wireless device, they were already dressing up our children in costumes. Why would they be doing that? Right? Why would they be dressing our own children in costumes when we were not aware that that was a part of the situation? Then, as you can see, whatever Rick Ross has going on or had going on is about to come to an end, because you see what I said, the Army, Air Force, whoever they were surrounded. They were surrounding that building and came to arrest everyone who was a part of whatever they had going on there. But to be able to lure children, to dress them up, and then give them into the hands of adults, not the parents that came, but whatever adult they had in that situation, waiting to receive these babies for God-forsaken reason, these pedophiles, these wicked people. Rick Ross, they're coming for you. And there's nothing you can do. Because you can run from man, you can hide from man, but you cannot hide from God. And every child that was harmed, that was taken advantage of because of your wickedness, and those who are taking children when they are adults for entertainment, woe be unto you all. Woe be unto you all. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next. Bye.